Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am your Ice Dragon Rayron VR, and welcome back to the National Model Railroad Month for November 2023. And today we're going to be talking about LiveSteam. So when we talk about LiveSteam, it's a basic, generic, and more general terminology that I'm going to be applying this to. It basically means trains that we can actually ride, or particular scales that you can actually use real life coal, wood, oil to actually burn your water to get actual live steam for steam engines and locomotives. But more than likely, when it comes to live steam, I typically think about 7 1/4, 7 1/2 scale, basically those particular scales that allow you to ride the trains. And it's not exclusive to steam engines. You've also got diesels as well that you can control, ride, and even electric diesels that are powered either through battery, and on the steam side that can be fueled by wood, coal, or propane gas. So we're going to take a look at that today because it is a major part of the hobby. And again, when it comes to live steam, it's basically a locomotive is often an intact, handcrafted scale model. Live steam railroad scales are generally referred to by the number of inches scale per foot. So for example, 1/8, 1 1/2, gauge 1, 1/24 scale, and so forth. Again, I typically go by 7 1/4, 7 1/2, because that's actually what I have experience with. Again, when we talk about live steam, it's typically trains that we can actually ride and control just like a real prototype. And so that is pretty cool when it comes to that. Another kind of aspect to it is we've got these Highline railways. Basically, you got track 3 1/2 inches, and again, they're powerful to actually pull people and passengers, and the entire railway is elevated, which is pretty darn cool. But again, definitely not for the faint of heart. These are probably the most extreme model railroaders in the actual model railroading community, because again, one of these engines can easily cost tens of thousands of dollars. When I look at the marketplace to see how much these are going for, these are typically $30,000 to $40,000, which is again insane, and it's definitely for the most extreme when it comes to model railroading. But again, it is so much fun. And again, when we think about here in the United States, when it comes to um, live steam, I think about Train Mountain. This is a layout, I believe, in Oregon, and it has miles upon miles of track. We'll take a look at the map plan here. So this has many different paths that you can go along. And so basically you start off here. You park. Here's the roundhouse, the yards here. But take a look at the adventures that you can have on Train Mountain. It's definitely a bucket list item for me. I would love to go out and actually ride some of this. They got some future expansions here as well. Yeah, so definitely when you think about live steam, I always think about Train Mountain. All right, so one of the experiences I've had when it comes to live steam is the 7 1/2 inch gauge Better Creek and Western. A member from my previous club days over in California actually owned a locomotive going through the Better Creek and Western, and a great experience. Was able to see live steam up in front, and I tell you what, it was a memorable experience. And I do have some footage that we'll take a look at here in a second, but to kind of going and piggybacking off of, just how much live steam is. You can see there's a couple parts here. Couplers looks like they go for 75, 150 for a set. We got a caboose here that's going for $1,100. So again, not for the faint of heart. This is something that you would definitely put a lot of time, effort, and obviously resources and money into it. But again, getting that experience from live scale or live steam is definitely one of a kind. When it comes to model railroading, N scale, HO can only go so far. But if you actually want to have the physical experience of driving a locomotive, feeling the going back and forth, the rocketing of the track, and just being in control of an engine on a big layout, I think it's definitely worthwhile, and I think it's worth it. So again, gives you kind of an understanding that this is not for the faint of heart. There is a lot to it when it comes to live stream. I'll go ahead and go back here. So again, that was the Better Creek and Western, and just to show you guys my experience from it, I do have a video when it comes to um, that Better Creek and Western. I'll bring it up here. So I do have a video about it. This is when I was there, and you can see there's some diesels there. There was some steamers. This is a train that I was riding on. I actually got to control this locomotive, which was a lot of fun. And again, you guys can check this video out when it comes to and a little trolley there. It's so cool, so much fun. Let's see if I can get a steamer. Let's see. Yep, there's a switcher. But it was just so much fun. It was a great experience. But yeah, you guys can take a look at that later. And now one channel that I would highly recommend if you want to get more live Steam content is the Steam channel. They got a wide variety of videos when it comes to meets. They go through all of the main live Steam railways out there, including Train Mountain. So again, I would highly recommend the Steam channel if you want to get more into that type of content. So yeah, overall, it's such a great experience doing a live Steam, and it's definitely a great part of the hobby. Definitely more of a what I would call late game or end game type of part of the hobby because of how expensive it is. You need a lot of land. You need a lot of resources. Sometimes you may have to do a lot of tooling, so that way you can create your own parts for these locomotives. Some of these locomotives are scratch built. So a lot of cool things going on in that part of the hobby. So that's why I wanted to highlight it because it's such a great experience. So with that, guys, have you been to any of these railways? Have you been to Train Mountain? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next video.